Yeah. So what we discussed in the yesterday's class, we discussed about the how to install the Git and Git bash on our local. And the second step, registered and log into the GitHub account, then created the new repository and created the password and generated the password, that password token. So then we configured this email and username for the tracking. Who modified, who, where modified, one modified, right? For that. So how to communicate between local repository to remote repository? This one also done, right? So we cloned the which repository, guys? We cloned the Terraform main repository, right? So we cloned the Terraform main repository and we added some files, right? Yeah, this is the Terraform main. Right, we added some files into this repository. Okay. Yeah. So now you understood about the, yeah, I will tell you this. Yeah. Okay. So what this is, guys, useful Git commands. What are the commands? The commands are git hyphen hyphen version. After installing the Git, how to check if the Git is installed or not? You can check by using the git hyphen hyphen version. It shows the version of the Git installed on your machine. Okay. The next one is Git init. So what is Git init? Git init is nothing but it will initialize the project folder into a Git repository. Project folder into a Git repository. I will tell you this one. Okay. Okay. So Git status. So yesterday I already show you, right? Git status. In simple terms, it will show you exactly which files folders are modified. So when you git added, right? After git add, we executed the git status. So it is in the untracked file or a tracked file or it in the staging area or it in the committed area, local repository. So how you can check? You can check by using the git status command. So what is the git add command? So git add command is nothing but it will add all the files into the git staging area. You can also add individual files into the staging area. For example, git add index.html. So if you want to add multiple files, you can use the git add dot. So if you want to add only one file, git add file name. Or if you want to add multiple files, git add file name space file name. Okay, this is nothing but a git add. So what is the git diff? So git diff is nothing but it will show the difference between a file in the staging area and a file that present in the working tree. So that file present in the working tree, right, guys? So what this is? So this is in the local area. Git add, git commit, git checkout, git merge. So all these comments, git status. So right where you are in the working directory, or you are in the staging area, or you are in the local repository, or you are in the local repository. So by using the git status, git add, and git diff, it will show the difference between a file staging area and the file that present in the working tree. Okay, git commit hyphen m message. It will save your changes into your local repository. It's good practice to include the proper commit message, which helps in debugging. Okay, it will save your changes into local repository. It's a good practice to include proper commit message, which helps in debugging. So what is the next one? Next one is the git push command. What is a git push command? You already know the git push, right? How to push the code from your local repository to remote repository, right? It will push all the changes that you have made to the remote GitHub repository. What is a git pull? Git pull is nothing but it will pull all the updated code from remote branch and merge it with your local branch. What is that? Git pull is nothing but so what is it, guys? Git pull. So it will pull the code from your remote repository to local repository. So for the first time, what you need to do, guys, for the first time, you can use the git clone command to clone the repository from your local to repository, local to remote to local repository. Okay. So git pull command, git log, it will list down the entire commit history. That is all the commits that you have made till now. So what is that? Git log, it will list down the entire commit history. It will list down the It will list down the entire commit history and all the commits that you have made till now. So what is the branch name? So this command is used to create a new branch on our local Git repository. What is that, guys? So whenever you create a repository, right? Whenever you create a repository, it will create a default branch. That branch is, so what is the default branch? The default branch is main. So if you want to create a new branch, this command is used to create the new branch in our local Git repository. Why this I will tell you. Okay. So Git branch, it will list down all the local branches that you have created. What is that? Git branch, it will list down all the local branches that you have created. Git branch hyphen A. So this Git branch will show only the local, and if you want to see the remote as well, you can use the git branch hyphen a. Git branch hyphen a, it will list down the remote as well. It will list down the all the branches, that is local branches plus remote branches that are available for checkout. Okay, git branch hyphen d branch name. So after merging, you need to delete the branch. How you can delete it? By using hyphen d command. So it will forcefully delete the specified local branch. It will forcefully delete the specified local branch even if the changes are not committed. Even if the changes are not committed. Okay, git checkout branch name. If you want to switch from one branch to another branch, so for example, future is you are creating a future. So you create a branch name, call it as a future from the main, and you are doing all the modifications on the future branch, and you can check out. You want to check out from your main branch to future branch. You can use switch from one branch to another branch. You can use the git checkout command. Git checkout branch name. It is used to switch between local git branches. So from main to future or main to bug. Okay, git stash. So what is git stash? It is used to temporarily remove the changes that you have made on the working tree. It is used to temporarily remove the changes that you have made on the working tree. Okay, git remove. So what is a git remote? It will give the name of the remote repository. Okay. So which repository you are working on it? So you are working on the remote repository. Call it as a, what is the remote repository? Terraform main. So if you in your local you use the command, call it as a git remote. It will show the your remote repository URL. So git remote, it will show the remote repository URL. So it will give the name of the remote repository, origin and upstream. If you use the git remote hyphen v, it will give the name as well as URL of the remote repository. URL of the remote repository. Guys, have you understood? Git remote hyphen v, git stash, okay, git branch, git checkout, git branch, okay, git branch hyphen a, git branch branch name, git log, git pull, git push, git commit, git add, diff, git add, git status, okay, git init, git version. So these all are the commands, and you have to use the other commands also. Those are git merge, okay, git merge. I will show you guys. I will show you everything. Now you understood what git commands, why we need git commands, what where we need to use these commands. Okay, yeah, yeah. On local the local mission, git uses section. On the local mission, git uses section. So what are the sections, guys? The section is the three the three main areas Git uses to track and manage manage changes on your local machine. And it's a core concept. It's a core concept in understanding how Git works. How Git works. So what are the main three areas? What are the three areas, guys? So what are the three main areas, guys? Guys, what are the three main areas on your local mission? On your local mission, what are the three main areas? The three main areas are working directory. What is working directory? And the staging area. What is staging area? And local repository. What is local repository? What is local repository? So what is working area, guys? So working directory is the location where all the code is created initially. All the files present here are called as a untracked files. So whatever the files see here, right? Working directory is the location where all the code is created. So where the code is created under here. Okay. Initially, all the files present here are called as a untracked files. What these files, guys? These files are tracked or untracked. Untracked files. Okay, what these are the these all are the untracked files. So what these are? These are all the untracked files from untracked to tracking. So when it will untrack to track, it will use the git add command. If you use the git add command file name, it will move from untracked to tracked. It will move from untracked to tracked. It will move from untracked to track, but still local repositories not know the for example abc.txt. So abc.txt is still doesn't know the local repository. How it will know? It will know by using the git commit. So it will know by using git commit. Once it is git commit, right? So it will be your working tree will be clean, nothing to be commit. Okay, then you can push from your local to remove. Your local to remote. First, we need to move your file from working directory to staging to local repository. What these three are. So working directory is the location where all the code is created initially. All the files present here are called as a untracked file. So tracked files. This is not tracked by the local repository. What is the staging area? So staging area is the location where files are indexing happens, and it is buffer area of Git, and the files are called as a indexed files. Is that this is the staging area is the location where files are indexing happens, and it is the buffer area of Git, and the files are called as a indexed files. So what is the index, guys? What is index? The Git index is a file usually in .git index file. So where the Git keep tracks of a file you are have staged in our preparation for the next commit. So what is the git add file name? So and local repository. So what is a local repository? Local repository is where the version control happening and the files are called as committed files. So all these files are committed files. So what is the command? Git commit -m commit message. So it will commit to so this file will commit from untracked to track or tracked to local repository. So how it is? So these are the three main areas. Three main areas. So what are those? Guys, speak out, guys. What are those? Working,
Directory.
working directory. Second one is
Staging area.
staging area. Third one is staging area. Third one is the third one, guys. Local repository. Local repository. Okay. So what is a working directory, guys? What is this? What is working directory? So working directory is the location where all the code is created initially. Initially, all the files present here are called as untracked files, or files called as a untracked files. What this is, so this is not tracked by the local repository. These files are not tracked by the local repository. Local repository. Guys, so what is the syntax? The syntax is touch file name. Touch file name. Example, touch. So touch Hari.txt. What is this, guys? Touch Hari.txt. Okay. So where you are? Yeah. So you are in this repository ls terraform main. Why? cd terraform. Oh shit. Yesterday I removed, guys. Yesterday I removed. Cloning it again. So what is this, guys? Code. So click the code and copy the URL to clipboard HTTPS. Then, so what is the command, guys? How to clone the repository from remote to local? What is the command, guys? What is the command?
Git
So for the
clone.
first time, how to clone? What is the command?
Git clone command.
Git clone URL
Clone
name.
URL.
URL name. Okay. So it is cloning from your local to remote to local. Now cd. What is that? Terraform hyphen main. Okay. So now this is your local repository. So your local repository, what you do? So touch array.txt. So where you are? So you are under the working directory. So working directory is the location where all the code is created initially. All the files present here are called as a untracked files. Okay. So what this is? This is the untracked file. How do you know untracked file? By using git status command. So what is this, guys? This is the untracked file. So this is the untracked file on your branch may. Which branch? On your branch may. Your branch is up to date with the origin may. Oh, we have a one untracked file. What that is? Hurry.txt. Hurry.txt. Now I want to move from untracked to track. Means staging. Untracked to track means staging. How we can move from untracked to track? Git add file name. It will move from untracked to track. It will move from untracked to track. Right. So git add array.txt. Okay. Again, you check the git status. Again, you check the git status. So what is that? So it will be moved from untracked to tracked. Now the file is in tracked. Right, tracked is nothing but a staging area. Now the file is in our staging area. So you see changes to be committed. So how do you know the local repository? If you commit the changes, then only the local repository know the hurry.txt. The local repository know the hurry.txt. How you can? So you can add to git commit hyphen m commit message first. Git commit hyphen m first is my commit message. So now your file is in our local repository. Okay. Now Git knows this hurry.txt. Git knows this hurry.txt. What is that? Right. So what are the files are there in our local hurry.txt, main.tf, simple.java.tf, portions.tf? Let's check it in our remote repository. What are the files are there? So we have a three files, but hurry.txt is not there. How we can move for that hurry.txt from local to remote? How we can move guys? How we can move? How we can push your changes from local to remote? What is the command?
Push comments.
Yes. What is the command?
Git push.
Yes. What is that? Git push. It will push all the local changes that you have made on the remote GitHub repository. Okay. What is that? Git push. You see, it pushed from your local repository to remote repository, your local main branch to remote main, your local main to remote main. Let's see. Refresh it. Okay. Hurry.txt. Hurry.txt. Now you understood, right, guys? The three areas: working directory, staging area, and local repository.
Yes. Means
Yes, right?
we create harry.txt file in local. Then through the push command, it goes to the GitHub
Mm. Remote
at
repository.
remote
Yeah,
location.
GitHub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Git status. So your working tree is nothing commit, your working tree is clean. So your working directory is clean now. Your working directory is clean. There is no untracked files. Who committed this? Who committed guys? Git log command. So git log command, you see, what is that? First commit, right? Yeah. So we set the global username and email because of who committed this message. So this is the commit ID. Who committed? Hari committed. So what is the email of the Hari? So hari@bluejtech.com. So when it was committed, Friday 14. And what is the commit message? So commit message is first commit. So commit message is first commit. Guys understood? So who modified, what modified, when modified, right? For the tracking. So for the tracking purpose, we can use git log. So I don't want all these things. So I want just a one line comment. You can use git log hyphen one line. Git log hyphen one line. So this is the commit ID. So this is the commit message. This is the commit message. Okay. So in one line, it will show only the commit ID and the commit message. Yes, understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So working directory. The next one is staging area is the location where files indexing happens, and it is the buffer area of Git, and the files are called as indexed files. The files are called as indexed files. So what is index? What is index? The git index is a file. The git index is a file usually in .git index. I will show this guys. So where git keeps track of the files you have staged in preparation. Have staged in so preparation. So has no preparation. So for the next month of the next commit, sorry, next commit. Okay. So what is that? What is the syntax guys? So if you want to move from untracker to track, git add file name. So git add a file name. Okay. So what is the file name guys? Git add array.txt. Okay. What is next? Local repository. So what is local repository? Local repository is where version controlling version control is happens and the files are called as committed files. Files called as a committed files. Syntax. What is the syntax? Git commit hyphen m commit message. Give it git commit message. So what is that example, guys? Git commit hyphen m first commit. Git commit hyphen m first commit. Guys, understood? Yeah. So now you understood about the this local repository. What is working directory? What is staging area? What is local repository? Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Next, the flow of the Git changes. So what is the flow, guys? You already know. What is the flow, guys? What is the flow of the Git changes? Sir, what is the first one, guys? Working directory. What is that? So working directory. Okay. So first Git status and Git add. It will move from working directory to it will move from working directory to working directory to where it will go? It will go to the staging area. What is that? What is that? Staging area. In the staging area, it will move from. So what it will do? Git status and git commit hyphen commit message. Commit message. Yes, understood. The next one is local repository. What this is? So this is the local repository. Yes, understood? Flow of the Git changes. First, the file will be when whatever the file you created, right? That file will be in the working directory. So if you want to move from working directory to staging area, you can use the git add command. Git add file. Git add a file name. It will move from working directory to staging area. So again, you can check the Git status. Now it is in the tracked file, but you need to commit the file. So once you commit icon message, then it will move from your staging area to local repository. This is the flow of the Git changes. This is the flow of the Git changes. Yep, understood. So then how to clone the repository from remote to local? You already know it. Right, guys? How to clone the repository from remote to local. How to clone the repository from remote to local, guys? How to clone? What is that? Git clone. What is the command, guys? Git clone is the command to clone the repository from local to remote to local. So clone the repository from remote to local mission for the first time. Clones the repository from remote to local mission. Remote to local mission for the first time. Okay. So for the first time. Syntax. What is the syntax, guys? Git clone URL, git repository URL. Okay. So what is the example, guys? The example is git clone, git clone. So what is the example, guys? The example is This is the example. So this is the example of the Git clone. Next, what is the Git pull? So what is the Git pull, guys? What is the Git pull? So what is the Git pull, guys? So for example, so another person pushed the code to the remote repository. You want to sync from your remote to local. You can use the Git pull command. You can use the Git pull command. So Git pull is nothing but a fetches and matches the changes from the remote repository to local repository. What is that? Git pull equal to git git fetch plus git match. What is that? Git pull is nothing but a git fetch plus git match. Git pull origin main. Origin main. So origin main is nothing but a remote repository. Remote repository. What is origin? What is origin, guys? Origin origin points origin points to remote remote location or a server. Remote location or a server. Is understood? What is git pull? Git pull is nothing but a fetches and merges the changes from remote to remote repository to local repository. So for example, you have a file. I'm adding a file into this. Create a new file. What is the file name? The file name is versions.tl. Committed the changes. Someone is committed. There was an error. Your changes a file with the same name already exist. Variable.t. Commit the changes. Okay. So variable.tf is in the remote location, but not in the local, not it in the local, right? So how you can pull by using git pull command. Git pull command. If you use the git pull, right, what it will do? It will fetch the changes as well as merge the changes. Let's see, ls. What is that? Variables.tf is synced from remote to local. Remote to local. Now you understood, guys? Git push means pushing from local to remote. Git pull means from remote to local. So for the first time, if you want to clone the repository, what command you need to use, guys? Git clone command. So what is the command? Git clone command. So it will clone the repository from your remote to local. Remote to local. Guys, understood?
Yes.
Yes, right? Yeah. So the next one, git remote type. So what is this command, guys? Git remote hyphen v. It will git remote hyphen v. It will give the name as well as the URL of the remote repository. So it will give the name, origin, and the remote repository. Remote repository. So fetch is nothing but a pull the changes from remote to, and push is nothing but a push the from local to remote. This is the origin fetch and push. Origin fetch and push. Is understood? Yeah. So what is git push, guys? What is git push?
This
What?
command is used for
Hmm,
to push the code from local to remote.
very good. Nice. What is that git push? Push is the committed changes to the local repository to remote repository. Remote repository. So what is the syntax guys? Syntax is nothing but a git push origin main git push. Okay. Can use git push hyphen upstream. We'll show you that time. Okay, when we show you. Okay, git push origin main. Git push origin main means it will push the code to your origin main is nothing but a remote repository. Remote main. Remote main. Yes, understood? To push the code from local main branch to remote main branch. Remote main branch. So what is that command, guys? The command is git push hyphen u origin git push origin main. Push the code from your local branch to remote future branch. To push the code from local branch future to remote future branch remote future branch. So what you can use? You can use git push hyphen u origin future hyphen u origin future. Is understood? Okay. Yes, understood. So now you understood about the how to add your local how to add your code to the local repository, right? So you already know how to add your code to local repository git CLI. Git git CLI means git bash. Through git bash, you know how to move the how to push the code from your local to remote. What is that? Create some code files in the working directory. 3. Okay, what that is touch abc.txt, mno.txt, pqr.txt. Okay, next check the status of the files. Check the status of the files. How to check, guys? To check by using git status command. Git status command. Okay, again add the files to staging area. How to add the files to the staging area? Git add file name. What is the test? Git add file name. Then git add dot. So if you have the multiple files, staging area, multiple files to staging area. The next one is add the add the add the add the number of files here. So number of files add the multiple Add the multiple files to staging area. Add the multiple files to staging area. What is the command? Git add file name space file name space file name. Guys, understood? So file name. So file name. Again, check the status of the file. Check the status of the file. How to check the status, guys? You can check the status by using git status. The next git status. Okay. Next commit commit the files to local repository. So commit the files to local repository. Hyphen M means commit message. Why commit message? So something like you are deleting a file. Something like I am deleting the file. You give this commit message as a deleting the file because of something. So right. So it will give the a proper commit message. Then you will understand why you deleted. Okay. Git commit hyphen m commit message. This is my first commit. Okay. This is the commit. Again, you check the status. Check the status. Then see all commits. How to see the all commits, guys? How to see git log command. So I want only one line git log hyphen hyphen one line command. Git log hyphen hyphen one line command. Next one. So as of now, you understand the how to add, how to commit, how to create the files through the git bash CLI. So we can use some Git GUI tools. We can use some tools to add, commit, to push, pull and pull from VS Code. So VS Code. What is VS Code, guys? Where you created the Terraform files, guys? Where you created the Terraform files, guys? So where you created the Terraform files? So we created the Terraform files in the VS Code, right? So if you use the code dot, so if you click the code dot, if you execute the code dot command, if you execute this command, VS Code will automatically open with our local repository. You see, guys, here, what this is? I will execute it in this code dot. Okay, this is array.html simple variables version. So if here, what is that? New terminal. If you open the terminal and you already installed the git bash, right? Here, so drop down. So we can select the git bash. Now git bash is open. So where your git branch. What is the command, guys? So git branch is the command. It will list down the all the branches. So how many branches we have still now? We have only one branch, main branch. So where you are? So here git branch command, you are in the main. If you see here, write down. So in which branch you are? You are in the main branch. You are in the main branch. Harry.txt main simple oceans there. So what files you want to create? You want to create a abc.txt, mnp.txt, and pqr.txt. For example, I'm adding three files. So what are those? I'm adding three files. What is that? pqr.txt, abc.txt, abc.txt is created, mnp.txt is created. Okay, so how many is created? abc, mnp, pqr. Three files are created. Okay, so how you can add this file? First, you need to check the status, right? These all are the untracked files. In VS Code, in the VS Code, there is a one option we call it as a source control. So if you click the source control, whenever you save the files, right, files or modify the files, so it will list down here in the source control. So okay, if you click the source control, right, these three files are in the which state working directory. So these are in the untracked files. How you can track this? So by using git add, plus is nothing but a plus plus plus. So these all are the git add three files. Three files are now check the git status. So where it is in the staging area. The files are moved from untracked to stage. How? By using the plus command. Okay, it will stage all the files. Now we will move from stage to the commit. How to? So this is the commit, and you can get a commit. This is my first commit. Just click it. Then so this, if you click this button, right, this button will execute the background git commit command. Okay, so git commit. Now your files are git status. So nothing to be commit, working tree is clean. So now abc.txt, mnp.txt, pqr.txt is that local repository is knows these three files. Okay, now these files are in the local repository. I want to push from my local repository to remote repository. What is the option, guys? Here sync changes. Sync is nothing but a push. You see, right? Push. We will push the code from local to remote. Sync changes is nothing but a git push. Okay, let's see it in the remote repository. Okay, how many files are added? Three files are added through VS Code. So VS Code. So right. So you created a folder Terraform main versions. Terraform hyphen main is the folder main.tf versions.tf terra variables.tf. You can create here and you can push to your local from your local repository to remote repository. What you guys can do from now. So whatever you created the Terraform files, right? So from here to push, you can create a remote repository on the GitHub account. Then you can clone the repository. Then you can move all the files to here, right? Then push the files from here to there in our remote repository. You guys can create your own account and create a repository called as a Terraform main and copy the files, push the files from through VS Code. Guys, understood? So in the real time, how the people, either developers or QA engineers or DevOps, operation engineer, everyone, they are using the IDE to develop the code, either infrastructure as a code or a script, something like that CI/CD code or a QA automation code or a developer's code. They are using the VS Code. VS Code is the IDE. So IDE is nothing but an integrated development environment. So in this IDE, this VS Code includes the VS Code option also. Version control, source control, version control option also. So how we can push? We can push through the version control option. Version control option. Guys, understood? Guys, is it easy? Meghna, Shrihita, Srinivas, Varsha, Ishwar.
Yeah.
Yep, right. Varsha, understood how you can use the VS Code?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Meghna, you already know, right?
Yes, yes. But Hari, only one doubt I have. Like we have
Hmm.
created the token in the starting, right?
Which token? Yeah,
For
token.
Git.
Yes,
That
yes,
is
yes.
only used to push the changes to remote repository.
Yes.
No other use it has.
In the developer missions, right? For example, if you push the code, so whenever push the code, that Jenkins server or a GitHub, GitLab server need to take that code, right? How we
Hmm.
can take that? So their purpose also they are using, and the developer access token also developer purpose. Those are developers also they are using the token to push the code to your their development code.
Okay.
Okay.
Mostly for like security purpose only,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can
Okay.
use your email address Gmail. So everyone is using email Gmail, it will not work out, right? It will it will hack all your email and username and password, right? If you use the
Hmm.
token, it will not
Okay.
hack, right? Yes, understood? Yep, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll continue from tomorrow. Monday. And what you guys can watch that recording, whatever I pasted in the chat, right? That WhatsApp chat. Yesterday or day before yesterday, I pasted, right? That 6 hours video. Don't know, na? I will
Yes,
show.
yes, we know. In WhatsApp group you have posted.
Yeah, I pasted in this chart.
Hmm. But
This
notes
is the one, guys. This
will
is
be
the
for
one. Sorry?
notes on these things means which are notes you are preparing, that notes will be provided on group.
So you want this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. I pasted in the chat the notes. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You guys download it or you guys can copy it and paste it in the notepad and save it, guys. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, sorry.
Yep, guys. So what is the task is? The task is you guys can watch this recording, guys. So I will ask the questions on Monday. Okay, everyone should watch this recording. Okay?
Yeah, yeah. Good.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll continue from Monday.
Thank you.